Hi, Tony.
Hello, Claire. How you going?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
We're just doing a video today around victim support services and what we
Great.
offer here at First Steps Count
Yep.
for our newsletter.
Great.
First of all, I wanted to ask you what informed the decision to start doing some victim support services counselling at First Steps Count?
Oh, lots of things. One thing in particular is that after being here in this community and working with people, we realise that there is so much trauma that's unresolved, and so many people who are really struggling then to provide the best parenting support that they can for their family, and to be in relationships and to do all the things that you can't do when you've really suffered a major trauma or had ongoing trauma in your life. The other thing was I was lucky enough to be part of a research project that talked to many services and people, and trauma just comes out as an enormous theme here, as a real barrier for people to be able to get on and live their best life.
That's great. So, what skills and experience do you bring to that role as a counsellor at First Steps Count?
So I am a social worker by training. I'm also an Aboriginal person, so I have been able to work lots in my time. Very sadly, working with other Aboriginal people, there's lots of trauma in our community. So being a social worker that's worked in that community in particular, I've worked on lots of intergenerational trauma and supported individuals, groups, communities to work through their trauma and get to some better outcomes. Um, and I think it's just always been a theme. I've worked with women and children most of my career. And so it's always been a theme, and it's always been this struggle of how can we work through that to be great parents.
One of the things that you've said to me is about how unique it is to be able to have this offering in this beautiful building. Can you tell
Mm.
me a bit more about how unique it is to be able to provide that kind of counselling support for somebody in this place?
Oh, I can actually give you a beautiful example, and actually, you're a little bit part of it, Claire. But you know that I've been seeing one very young mum who's had some major trauma in her life, and who has also um, experienced intergenerational trauma here in Taree. And she's 22, I think, and she's got 3 children, all under 4. And her partner, he is very involved, and they're living in temporary housing at the moment. And he's Aboriginal. So they're really trying to get on and be the best parents they can. So she's come to me as an individual woman, starting to see me as, to work through her trauma, which is really beautiful. In the meantime, they've become much more engaged at the centre. So they used to come in a little bit and be very shy and sort of keep to themselves. Now he's talking to our navigator, and he's getting some support on some other issues. He's engaged with the service here, working through their family stuff. They're talking to a lot more people and being part of the centre. And then the young woman has decided to go on and do some training. And so then she wanted to connect up in our fundraising committee, and met you the other day, and she wants to volunteer her time to do that. So all of this is about forming relationships and being part of the community, where they've felt very isolated away from the community with their gorgeous 3 little boys. They're now very much a part of here. So that's all about being able to heal and regain some relationships and learn from others. Yeah, so they are in a perfect place. In the past, I've done individual counselling where you're just in this little room all by yourself. You say goodbye to them. You've got no one else to introduce them to, or any other opportunities. This place has all the opportunities to heal.
So, finally, how will you know if this kind of counselling support is successful that you're offering to women in our community?
Well, that's a great example.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was very shy when she first started coming here. I don't think she spoke to anybody. So that's just beautiful. And she's just going to really flourish in this environment. So that's one example. And I see that with many of the people that I work with. They join up in women's group, or they do something like that. So to me, that's really wonderful that they can come here with their children. People returning, I think people coming back and actually doing the hard work, because counselling is really hard work, and sticking in with it, and continuing to come, and then us continuing to get referrals. And we certainly don't have any shortage of those at this point.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations, because I think you hit a milestone the other day of 100 sessions
I did.
since March or April or something. And to be doing that in combination with the role as centre leader, I think is a real achievement. So thanks so much for being able to offer that for our community.
Oh, thank you. I love doing it.